Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be trading a one setup queue on Crash 500 index to turn this 50 USD account to more than 300 USD. So stay tuned to learn how I did it in order for you to do it as well. Okay, so now over to the chart. We are at 51 USD and we start analyzing from the weekly. Now, analyzing from the weekly is not necessary, but analyzing from a higher time frame might be. So now we see a stop hunt above that high. Price sort of grabbed liquidity above that high and returned back into the range, and that is because it sort of penetrated that fair value gap. And while it penetrated, it hit the monthly order block. So it did not fully fill the fair value gap, or it did not fully raid the high. That's why it did sort of a stop hunt and then returned back down, because it had hit or tapped the monthly order block. Now, what I want you to see is right there. Currently, price is inside a huge monthly bearish order block, and it has formed an immediate rebalance. So we expect price to drop down from there. It has to drop down because it actually hit the body of the monthly bearish order block, and we expect it to drop down to the fair value gap right below it. Now, what other reasons or what other confluence do we have for it to drop down? Now, price before it went up to form a stop hunt, it broke structure. It was approaching that main high, and then it broke structure again above that high. Now, when it reached there, price, it hit the monthly OB, then gave us a change of character, or a BOS. It's sort of a reversal. We're now in a reversal. Then it continued to drop down again to sort of break structure or give us a wipe below that low. Now, when it returned back up, I want you to see how it hit the weekly order block, and this weekly order block is actually in line with the daily breaker block, but I haven't shown it. Now, price has to drop down, and it did it from the weekly or the daily breaker block. I didn't show it again, and it dropped down to break structure below that low. Now, after it broke structure, we can see that price returned back inside the range and is currently at a weekly mitigation block. Now it has to continue dropping down there. Now, yes, price right now is at a weekly mitigation block, a bearish one, and we want, or we expect, price to drop down from there. And how are we going to sort of drop down with it? We're going to focus or move on to the daily chart. Now, on the daily, you can see price went up to wipe sort of or above a high. So currently right now, price has raided a high, and after it traded a high, you can see there's a fair value gap right above that high, and price filled that fair value gap, so expect it to drop down. And in line or inside that fair value gap is a daily order block, so we expect price to drop down from there. And we got a bearish reaction on the previous candle. So I think right now it's retesting, and the reason it's retesting, okay, so you can see there's a fair value gap right there on the 4-hour. Price filled it where we already covered the fair value gap. And on the 4-hour again, you can see as well that there is sort of, you see the 4-hour fair value gap. Inside the 4-hour fair value gap, there is also the 4-hour order block right above it. And you can see, if I stretch out this 4-hour order block, you can nicely see that price sort of respected it properly. Now there was a proper reaction, and it formed our pattern, our normal pattern, where price break structure, hit the 4-hour order block, and then give us a change of character. Now, from the change of character, price dropped down immediately, and it kept on plummeting down. And on the 4-hour, after it gave us a change of character, from the 5-minute, it went up to that 15-minute order block or 5-minute order block, and it dropped down from there. So yes, that 15-minute order block. Now, after price dropped down, it went, or it returned back inside. Now, where are we going to be selling it? We're going to be selling it at that premium zone, where price sort of want to grab liquidity above that high and then drop down from there. Now, above that high, or when it's doing a liquidity grab, it's going to meet with a 4-hour order block, like in the premium zone. Now, from there, it's going to drop down, and we might actually be selling quite sooner than you think. Now, that 4-hour order block is in line with the 1 hour order block, or the 1 hour order block is inside the 4 hour OB. Now, because it's sort of, I can't show it nicely on the phone, but I'll try my best. If we zoom into the 15 minute, you can see there's a small fair value gap right there. You see that fair value gap right there, or inefficiency. If I stretch it out, price still has to fill or to fare in the sells or the buys right in that zone, and it's going to be met with a 15-minute order block where we're going to be selling. So we're going to be placing our sell limits right at that order block, and we will hope for the best, and price is going to reach there and drop afterwards. That's what we expect. Now I started placing my sell limit and I pegged as usual. Now we will wait for afterwards. Now afterwards, I remember correctly, I entered at market execution. I couldn't wait for it to reach my sell limit. For some reason I was impatient and I had to enter right before it reached our 15-minute order block, but whatever, we're in profits at this point in time. And after some time again, price dropped even further down, and you can see went from 50 USD to 300. Some nice profit margin right there. And yeah, like usual, we were winning. It had to keep on dropping down. Because there was a huge fair value gap, but I had reached my my profit target. So it's like I was in a dilemma between closing because of profit target or closing because of reaching our POI. But yeah, I chose to close at 300 USD. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys on the next video.